The engines on the Fat Controllers Railway love Brendam docks. There's always lots of work to keep them busy, and they enjoy seeing new arrivals onto the island of Sodor. An exciting new arrival was an engine Cranky the Crane was unloading. It was heavy. "This makes my chain ache," groaned Cranky. "This is Harvey, the crane engine," the Fat Controller said proudly. The other engines thought Harvey looked strange. Harvey was happy to be on the ground. He didn't like dangling from Cranky's arm at all. "These gentlemen are the railway board," the Fat Controller said. "Tomorrow, Harvey will give them a demonstration. If it goes well, he will join the railway."
Around half a year ago, I started working on my probably most difficult project at the time, Harvey the crane engine. The first thing I did was jumping into Inventor and constructing a shell for him that would fit on a Märklin Percy. Creating all the parts for him was very simple, and so I had my printer up and running quite quickly. Here you can see some of the first pictures I took of Harvey. As soon as all the needed parts were printed out, I started ordering the electronical components from Amazon. Here you can see the motor and the chain I used for Harvey. And this was my workspace when I first test fitted the motors. Just to give you a quick explanation on how Harvey's crane works, there is a motor in his cab which is controlled of a microcontroller, and this motor turns a rubber band which turns the little gear-like plate on top of him, and then the crane rotates on top of him. I originally planned to have a working winch too, but I had to scrap that idea because I couldn't find small enough batteries to fit into his crane, so that idea was sadly scrapped, and now he only has a winch that operates when using your hand. After all the smaller elements had been printed out by me, I ordered an airbrush because my paint jobs on all my other models have been, well, not the best ones, and it turns out this really is a proper solution to that problem. So after airbrushing Harvey's body, I went on and painted his smaller parts with regular acrylic paint, and then it was time to put his motor and his microcontroller into his cab and solder it all together. Here you can see Harvey running for the first time with his own chassis. I used my own Percy chassis before that, so I ordered a new one some months ago. After test fitting Harvey on his new chassis, I took off the side rods and painted them and the wheels in red. Here you can see the inside of Harvey's crane and how his winch mechanism works. And then it was time for the worst part of model making, at least in my opinion, applying lining and decals. You can see that the lining was not made with normal simple lines. Instead it was made from bigger printouts, so you can see a little color difference in the parts that I printed and in the paint I used, but I don't think that's a major problem. He looks good as he is, in my opinion. So everything he was missing now was a face, but because I am not that great at making faces, I decided I would give him just a regular smokebox door for the time being. I eventually made a face anyway, and I think it turned out better than the faces I made previously, so I'm quite happy about it. but I'm still looking into changing it with a professionally made one. So yeah, here's Harvey. I'm still working on a battery box for Harvey because at the moment this battery that just has 2 cables going off of it is not the best solution. I also want to give a big shout out to Nino, aka Mob Props, who helped me develop the model and always had some ideas if I had run into some problems when making Harvey. So thank you, Nino.